In the early stages of the show, who did you initially pin as a traitor?
I have not been at, this is the first time I've been asked that. Um, I would say, let me think back. I was off in the beginning for sure. I remember thinking at some points Max was a traitor when that whole banishment with happened with Deontay, and Deontay was pointing him out. I thought Deontay was onto something as well. I got to be honest. I actually thought Ekin-Su was a traitor at first. And I will say this, I really haven't ever told anyone this, and take her for what it's worth. But I do remember, and I'm not going to say I thought for sure, but right when we finished the roundtable ceremony and we walked to where they initially selected them, we walked to the kitchen. And I remember just like seeing Phaedra just weirdly just like listening a little too much, like almost just like the eavesdropping type thing. And I'm like, I just remember I picked up on it. I'm like, why? She's not saying anything. She just is like doing this little like gaze and like looking. And I thought something of it. I did quickly lose that, but I remember thinking there was something weird there. I wish I would have, kept that suspicion going until, but I didn't. But yeah.
The plan not to reveal who had the shield was kind of your, I guess, your coming out party as a game player. What kind of made you want to jump forward at that moment to start making those kind of moves in the front of the pack?
That was just such an on the fly type moment. Because we didn't know, so we go outside for the bird mission. We get told by Alan what's going to happen. And there was a little bit of luck that was involved where everyone that kind of really raised their hand that wanted to be outside to fight for the shield just happened to be people that I really trusted. And I was like, I know that there was maybe one. It was Sheree was maybe one that I didn't fully know if she was or not. But by then just her being a part of the group and not spoiling it for the traders to then not fall into the trap, I knew she couldn't be a traitor. So 5 of the 6 people I was very confident in. And then I'm thinking, okay, we have a lot of people here that we trust. Let's take advantage of this. Let's do something with this. And so when immediately I knew, and it was nice that Janelle had always had that suspicion of being selfish and like all those kind of conversations that already occurred. I'm like, okay, we can use that. So Janelle, like, let's everyone's going to already assume, you and I, and it was a good thing that Janelle asked, like, she was like, Peter, let's work together. And so I'm like, okay, perfect. It was a good thing that we used that she was, had that selfish suspicion. And I'm like, everyone's going to think that you and I are going for it. So let's use this to our advantage. And then we were able to, right before we left for the game, we told Bergie and Trishelle, I'm like, guys, make sure you get that shield and we'll tell you why after. And then it just worked out.
When did you feel like the momentum had fully swung against you?
Ooh, I would say really, I didn't know. I think there was a conversation that was shown that Trishelle and John and I had in the hallway there at the entrance to the castle. And she's like, yo, you're up for a banishment tonight. And I remember thinking, I was like, I think I was just so hyper focused, like, and maybe it's to a fault, but it was tunnel vision towards like the strategy and executing everything as flawlessly as possible that I could have maybe done a better job in the social aspect of the game of not being so hyper fixated on that and paying more attention to feelings and emotions. And I get that. Because I remember that was actually a shock for me when she said, yeah, it's you and Phaedra. I'm thinking we're about to go banish Phaedra. This is going to be great. Like, we're going to continue this momentum. And then she tells me that, and she was ultimately right. I was like, wow, I have been too focused on one side of this game here.
Yeah, what did you think? Obviously, you were eliminated in the most recent episode at the beginning. What was your thoughts finally seeing the Phaedra elimination unfold? And then, of course, obviously her being revealed as an actual traitor.
I thought about it a lot after I left, and I didn't get to see it happen live, but I was like, it's got to be her the next roundtable. I think she probably saw that too. I think she saw her fate was kind of sealed too, because I remember noticing it just seemed like her demeanor was a little bit different that next day leading up to roundtable. And it's like, I think she probably saw, because what we got into and like it got so kind of heated, that it's going to be if I'm not a traitor, all she did was buy her one more night, right? Because she's going to be the next suspect. Like, you're going to try the next person that was in that argument. So I think I noticed, that her demeanor seemed a little off. And I think everyone kind of saw that coming, her included. And that was probably why.
Where do you think your game went wrong?
I think I should have I maybe should have done a little bit more pushback with Trishelle. Like, I totally got her points, and that's why I ultimately agreed to it. But I don't think that I should have flopped as aggressively as I did, or flip-flopped from Phaedra, or from going after Parvati to then going after Phaedra. I think I understood the reasoning. I did, but it in a game where it's so condensed, it was almost like near impossible to like pull that off and like not raise suspicion of why is he doing this last minute. You know, if I could have a do-over, maybe I would try to push, no, we really should, let's just get Parvati first and then focus on Phaedra. Maybe that would have kept some suspicion off, or not that there was reason for suspicion, but kept heat off of me.
Who were you most surprised to build a connection with from the cast?
I would say, I mean, I never would have thought I would have just been so aggressively playing a game of, you know, like real life Clue with the Speaker of the House from Parliament with John. Like there's very few similarities between the two of us in life right now, right? And he just is one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. It's just so interesting, so entertaining. You know, every roundtable ceremony, he would do his speeches. It wasn't just the one that they kind of showed when I got banished. We got to enjoy that every single night, and just such a great person, and just I really enjoy playing with John. And I don't think I would have pinpointed. It's funny, we were in the hotel room before we started filming, and you know, on your phone, you have no communication with the outside world. But the one thing I saw was like a little slip was on like the BBC channel in Scotland. They're like, and John, I think it's Burko, is going from the Speaker of the House, from Parliament, will be on the next season of the Traitors. And they just show this video of him just, just like yelling. I'm like, who is this? And it was just the coolest experience to play with him.
Final question. If you could come back into this game, everything erased, would you want to come in as a traitor or as a faithful?
Oh, traitor for sure. I would love to, but I really do believe, and I think a lot of people would say that I would love to suggest for the game. I think they should go to a randomizer for the Traitors, just so nobody can have any suspicion put on them, maybe unfairly from the beginning. Like a bananas type thing. I think he goes back, he's voted out every single day, first one. The only way to fix that is if you randomize it.